Hey, good morning. It's Mentor Monday. Today is Monday, March 12th, 2018. We've designed Mentor Monday to be your weekly microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your human potential, and particularly your potential as a coach. You know, coaches love to talk about the potential in other people and helping people overcome their barriers to become their greatest you or the best or boldest you. But who are the people who are investing in coaches? And what are we doing to make sure that we're not hitting a ceiling and that we're not staying in a comfort zone? I work with coaches all over the world, and for the next few weeks, we're going to knock out each one of these barriers one by one. The first barrier is actually learning or training itself. And you know, the funny thing is that when I say that, I'm not just talking about the finances involved. You know, we've got a very affordable program where you can get certified for about $195 US. But honestly, what I find the barrier to actually moving forward and getting to the next level is training and learning itself. Because if I had to profile the average coach, I would find the average coach has a huge value and loves to learn. Pretty much every coach I know loves to learn. They're always reading, they're listening to something that's helping them acquire knowledge, blogs, articles, videos, podcasts. I mean, proof in the pudding is right now you're actually spending your time listening to me. And there's nothing wrong with learning. It's great to learn. It's awesome to become an expert on what we do and become an authority on our profession. But I find that perpetual training and learning is actually the number one barrier that's keeping coaches from becoming successful, and in many cases is actually keeping most coaches from even starting their coaching practice. And I'm not against training. We have training in the name of our company. It's Life Coach Training Institute. So obviously we believe in it, but the problem is how training and learning actually becomes its own barrier. And it's actually more the norm for coaches than a rarity. And that's because while learning is an important value, it's actually a little bit deceitful. And here's why. Learning's an activity, right? So what is the old saying? The more you know, the more you grow. That's what we've always been told, but it's not exactly true. Here's why. I find so many coaches in a quest for knowledge about coaching are missing the greatest teacher that can defeat them all. The greatest teacher in the world is actually experience. And that's not in a book, and it's not coming from a high-paid master coach. You learn by doing. You learn by getting out and coaching people. And so don't get me wrong, I love talking concepts, I love talking theory, I love finding out about new kinds of strategies and new kinds of things that people are doing to help people develop, to help them pull out their potential and confront different things. I find it really fascinating. But when I'm talking to so many different coaches, and I do a lot of mentoring of coaches, I really want to have conversation that's not just in theory, but I want to hear about their success and their triumphs. I want to hear about failures and their challenges as a coach. Because see, I can't work with a coach if they're only talking about theory. I can only work on what you need to grow in. And for that reason, I need you to have some experiences. I need you to have some struggles. I need you to run into some walls every now and then so that we have something to actually discuss. And so, you know, and I can only help a coach so much if they are not actually in the trenches. And see, that's what I see that perpetual training and learning does, is it makes a coach feel like they're in the trenches. But you know what makes a coach a coach? What makes a coach is that you're actually coaching people, right? So a lot of this comes with a heavy price tag because let's face it, coach training is expensive, costs thousands of dollars for most programs. And so this is not a cheap little thing that anybody is doing. But the even greater expense is that all this activity at a certain point is like treading water. It's like jumping into a pool. You don't actually learn to swim. You're not making any moves towards anything, not making any progress, but your legs are moving and your arms are moving. And so here's the thing. Enough about the problem. Let's quickly talk about how you're going to overcome this barrier from now on. Give you 3 points. Number one, You already know more than you're ever going to do as a coach, so you need to start doing what you already know. You will likely never, ever use all the things that you have learned. So you're already an expert on a lot of things from a knowledge perspective. Put the book down, save the money on the next workshop registration, actually use that money to invest in real, living, breathing people, okay? Invest that money in your business network or invest it in some potential clients. Host a workshop or a lunch and learn, something like that. But don't spend any more money on workshops if you don't have any clients. Number 2, ask yourself, have I actually used learning and getting more training as a justified means of procrastination? Have you ever asked yourself that? We have to be real with ourselves about this one. Is all this information gathering I'm doing that feels like activity actually just allowing me to avoid confronting the fears that I have with getting started, with starting my business? Maybe the fear is rejection. Maybe the fear is I'm not going to be that good. It can be a long list of things. But let me say this. Fear is normal, and everyone has disqualifiers starting out. I had major ones. I'd never started a business before. I hadn't been coaching that long. There was just a long list. And the fact that I felt generally unworthy to help people or to get paid to do those kinds of things. Here's the thing. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's what we do in spite of it. And so if you have fear, just acknowledge it and get to the root of it. Here's what I'm really afraid of. Here's what the voices are. Here's what the belief systems are. Find out what you're afraid of and start taking action steps to confront what you're actually afraid of. Now, number 3 is the last one. Get a plan of action for getting your business up and going and begin to work it. One thing that's typically absent in the academic world of coaching, and this is something that you need to know, coaching's kind of modeled itself after the education world, because in the world of education, you can go and get a degree in business taught by someone who has never even done business before. And sometimes in the coaching world, I'm just letting you know what our dirty laundry is. In the coaching world, we're fascinated with learning and credentials and all this other stuff. And what happens is that we dismiss, or we just completely miss, the practicality of what does it take to actually start a business, much like a university does. You go get a business degree, no one's going to hire you because you don't have any experience, right? Because experience is the greatest teacher. Tony Robbins, though most in the coaching world will tell you, oh, he's not a textbook coach, whatever we want to say about him, he's a household name that's helped millions of people because he's found a way of building his business. And if you're not, and here's the thing, is if you're already a learner, let's leverage being a learner in a really good way. Put that to good use. Find out what it takes to build a thriving coaching practice. So if you want to learn and you want to grow, don't focus on the theory anymore. Focus on what does it take to actually build your business. There's big business sections in Barnes & Noble and on Amazon and a lot of different things. I learned from a lot of different people as I went along. Some of them were clients that I coached that were really good business people, really good salespeople, and I learned things from them because it wasn't something that came very natural to me, and it was something I was absolutely afraid of. Now, I should also say, we do have a Jumpstart program. It gives the A to Z on these steps. It's the 20 modules of business development roadmap is what we've created, and at the end of each one of those modules, there is a business development tool. I also do a group coaching call with the students who are part of that program. So we answer every business related question and we answer any coaching related question during that. There's an online community where our coaches are supporting one another, about 125 people in that program right now. So they role play with one another. They share, they celebrate one another's success. They share what they're working on, even some of the things that are becoming barriers from them. Here's the thing. The critical part of all of this is accountability. You've got to take action, but you need to know the right steps and then actually follow through and work them. Don't just talk about it. Don't spend your days in activity. Don't spend your time in workshops that's actually preventing you from getting started. Don't let another program become its own barrier to getting started. Listen, I believe in you. I absolutely love coaches. I hope that this was really encouraging for you. If you would, please share it today. like this post because it helps get it out in front of other people. Share it on Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube, everything else. And so share this every place that you can. And if you've got any questions for us, any way that we can help you moving forward, just shoot us an email. Go to our website, ilifecoachtraining.com. Just hit the contact us button or give us a call. We'd love to talk to you and get to know you. Hey, have a great rest of your week and take care.